Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about an intrinsic factors affecting microbial growth and survival in food. The primary objective of this module is to study about the types of intrinsic factors that affect the microbial growth and survival within food. As we know that microorganisms enter in the food through various sources and obtain all necessary nutrients from food for their growth. Food may be plant or animal origin. Each type of food has its own characteristic constituent which may affect the growth of microbial cells. Thus, the growth depends on availability of nutrients and other factors present over there. The microbial growth within food is influenced by mainly two factors. First is intrinsic factor and second is extrinsic factors. Intrinsic factors are innate or natural components of the food. For the growth of microbial cells in food, water is required in an accessible proportion. As we know that from ancient time, food are preserved by controlling their moisture content. Microbiologists usually indicate the need of water for microorganisms with regard to the activity of water of the atmosphere or food.
Water activity is described as the ratio of water vapor pressure of the food substrate to the vapor pressure of pure water at similar temperature. The water activity of pure water is always 1 and the water activity of entirely dehydrated food is 0. In general, the water activity of food on the scale ranges in between 0 to 1. It is related to the equilibrium relative humidity, that is also called ERH, above the food on scale of 0 to 100. Typically, the water activity of food designates the unbound water or available water which make the growth of microorganism easier. Most fresh food such as fruits, vegetables and meat have a water activity values that are close to optimum growth level of most microorganisms, that is around 0.97 to 0.99. An approximate water activity levels of some common food are presented in this slide. Fresh meat, poultry and fish having the water activity 0.99, fresh fruits and vegetables 0.98, eggs 0.97, bread 0.95, jam 0.80, honey 0.75, dried fruit 0.60, biscuits 0.30, whole dried milk powder 0.20 and cereals having 0.15. The water activity in food may be affected by a number of factors. Some important factors are listed in this slide.
Microbial growth in food varies if the growth medium will act as an electron donor or electron receptor. Therefore, oxidized or reduced substances play a very important role in microbial growth, and microbes exhibit varying degree of sensitiveness to the oxidation reduction of the medium intended for their development or else growth.
The oxidation reduction or redox potential of a substance is expressed in terms of the ratio of the total oxidizing power to the total reducing power of the substance. Actually, it is a measurement of the ease by which a substance either gains or loses electrons. The oxidation reduction potential of system is expressed by the symbol EH. The EH measure is expressed in millivolts. If an element or compound loses electron, the substrate is said to be oxidized, while a substrate which receives electron becomes reduced. In this table, you can see an approximate minimum water activity which is required for microbial growth is listed. You can see there are microorganisms could be classified in 4 diverse groups by means of EH standards. First, aerobes which are able to grow at high EH value. Second, anaerobes which are able to grow at low EH value. Third, facultative anaerobes which are able to grow at both high and low EH. And fourth, microaerophilic which are able to grow at relatively low EH values. In this slide, you can see the ranges of oxidation reduction potential at which various microbial groups can grow. For aerobes, it is plus 500 to plus 300 millivolt. For facultative anaerobes, plus 300 to minus 100 millivolt, and anaerobes plus 100 to less than minus 250 millivolt. In this table, you can see oxidation reduction potential of some food like canned cereals, lemon, meat, and milk. These values may be differed upon changes in the pH of food, growth of microorganisms, packaging, the partial pressure of oxygen in storage environment, and ingredients. One of the most important factors is the poisoning potential of food, which is analogous to shielding capacity, related to the extent to which food resists externally affected changes in the EH. It is influenced by oxidizing and reducing constituents in the food, as well as by the presence of active respiratory enzyme systems.
It is a measure of the activity of hydrogen ion and measures the hydrogen ion concentration. The unpolluted or clean water has hydrogen ion concentration, which is usually called pH, very near towards 7 at 25 degrees Celsius. If solution is having a pH value below 7, then it is said acidic in nature. Moreover, pH value greater than 7 are considered to be alkaline or else basic in nature.
An approximate pH values of some food products are presented in this table: apple, banana, chicken, crabs, grape juice, milk, olives, onion, and yogurt. In this table, minimum, optimum, and maximum pH growth ranges for some potential foodborne microorganisms is presented. In this table, you can see molds can grow over a wider range of pH, that is from 1.5 to 11, then most yeast pH 1.5 to 9, and bacteria from pH ranges 4.4 to 9.8. The most fermentative yeasts are favored by a pH of approximate 4 to 4.5 and unable to grow in alkaline conditions. The most of the bacteria grow in pH of neutrality or nearby, though some acid formers are able to grow in moderately acidic conditions, and proteolytic bacteria can grow in alkaline pH too.
Microorganisms require some basic nutrients for their development and persistence of physiological functions. The quality as well as kind of supplements such as water, energy sources like glucose, and vitamin, minerals, etc. requirement varied with the type of microorganism. However, microbes select their food as a substrate on the basis of the type and proportion of nutrients available in food.
The varying amounts of nutrients present in various food are presented. Plant foods having high concentration of different types of carbohydrates and varying levels of proteins, vitamins, and minerals. Foods such as milk and milk products and eggs are rich in nutrients. Meats have abundant protein, lipids, minerals, and vitamins, and most muscle food have low levels of carbohydrates.
Biological structures are natural covering found on plant and animal origin food might avoid the entrance and escalation of microbial cells.
Some conditions or parameters which are affecting the biological structures of food and allows entry as well as penetration of microorganisms in food are presented in this slide. Sexual and maturity stage of plant food may influence the effectiveness of the protective barriers. Mechanical and physical damage due to handling during harvest, transport, or storage. Attack of insect can allow the penetration of microorganisms. During the processing of food such as chopping, slicing, grinding, and shucking may destroy the physical barriers. Heating or pasteurization of food as well as other types of processing may destroy their protective biological structures and alter such factors as acidity, alkalinity, and moisture content. These changes could potentially allow the growth of microbial pathogens. In this slide, you can see spontaneously developing antimicrobial components inside different origin of foods are presented: plant origin, animal origin, and microbial origin. For example, in plant origin, clove contain usinol, garlic contain allicin, and in animal origin, cow's milk containing lactoferrin, eggs and milk containing lysozyme, and in microbial origin, fermented food are the main example of the product. In microbial origin, fermented food producing lentibiotic nisin.
As we know that food is an important substrate and consequently the uniqueness of a food is an imperative concern. Each type of food has its own characteristic constituent which may affect the growth of microbial cells. The kind of microbes exist along with the ecological circumstances are too important. Microorganisms obtain all required nutrients from nearby food. Microorganisms usually utilize food as a supply of nutrient molecules from their excretion. These nutrients may be plant or animal origin. The inherent physical, chemical and biological characteristics of the food such as moisture content, pH, oxidation reduction potential, nutrient content, antimicrobial components and biological structures can jointly either stimulate or delay the growth of microorganisms. Moreover, certain intrinsic factors are also interlinked with the extrinsic factors. For example, water activity increases with increasing temperature. The knowledge about these factors that inhibit or favor the microbial growth is crucial for consideration of food spoilage principles along with preservation.